The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this beautiful path, I walk in peace. With each step, a cool wind blows. With each step, a flower grows. Gathas are short, simple practice poems that help bring mindfulness, concentration, and insight to our daily activities. The word gatha is Sanskrit for song or verse. Gathas are often recited mentally rather than aloud, in rhythm with the breath. Practicing gatha verses in a light-hearted, accessible way to meditate while engaged in any activity is the way to daily joy and daily understanding. If your mindset is like many others, you often find your mind jumping into the future or jumping back to the past, or fabricating ridiculous situations and taking you to places you don't need to go. Before you know, your path is littered with boulders of fear, anger, despair, frustration, and forgetfulness. We can return through breathing and gathas. Buddhism tells us that the practice of mindfulness is to come back to the present moment and take care of the situation. Wherever we are, at home, at work, driving, gardening, or at a meeting, we can use the energy of mindfulness to bring us back to ourselves, to the present moment. One powerful resource available to all of us is to make use of gathas throughout our day. Gathas are short poems or verses that we can recite, regardless of where we are, to help us return to the present moment and dwell in mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, the gathas can serve us as reminders or moments to focus, and we live our whole lives in more awareness. Gathas allow us to focus our mind, making it possible to almost instantly return to ourselves. Gathas help us to stop our relentless running, to slow down, to enjoy life in the here and now. While we enjoy walking, sitting, washing the dishes, or turning the compost, we can stop our wild thinking. Then we can see the wonders of life in the present moment. So, how do we work with gathas? Start by memorizing a few short gathas. Then add more, including longer ones. Notice the rhythm of the lines. Recite the first line as you breathe in, and recite the second line as you breathe out, and continue in that fashion. When you are stuck in traffic, waiting in the queue at the bank, walking down a hallway at work, or going to the restroom, try this gatha. I have arrived. In breath. I am home. Out breath. In the here. In the now. Out. I am solid. In. I am free. Out. In the ultimate, I dwell. In. And in the Pure Land, I dwell. Out. You will be able to sit, stand, or walk with ease. You can calm yourself. You can smile at the chaos around you. And you will be able to continue what you are doing in a more focused and mindful way. Then, when you find your mind going off in another direction, pull another gatha from your gatha storehouse. If you do a lot of walking meditation, either slow or fast, you will note the built-in rhythm of walking and the gatha are good pairings. For example, with fast walking, my rhythm is 4 steps to each stanza. In breath for 4 steps. Out, an out breath for 4 steps. Deep, in for 4 steps. Slow, out for 4 steps. Calm, in for 4 steps. Ease, out for 4 steps. Smile, in for 4 steps. Release, out for 4 steps. Present moment, in for 4 steps. Wonderful moment, out for 4 steps. Or with slow walking, use 1 step per line. For me, fast walking is a very mindful practice, and I try to do it in the present moment, enjoying the blue sky, the flowers, the insects, the birds, and my faster breathing. A gatha is a poem or a song and a guided meditation. They are the same and used in different situations for each and all uses. For example, with breathing in, breathing out, I sing or chant it to myself as I walk, as I drive, or as I work in my studio. The rhythm of walking, weightlifting, and working adapts well to the stanzas. How often negative feelings can creep into our minds, and gathas have a way of bringing us back and bringing the attention to those moments. When our emotions take over and are suddenly sprouting at the slightest provocation, we need to recognize and embrace such moments. When these feelings arise, stop, do nothing, let the flames cool. Use a gatha to come back to yourself. Smile at your feelings of anger, resentment, or distrust, and then come back to your work. Think of these emotions in the ultimate dimension. Close your eyes and look deeply. 300 years from now, where will you be? And where will I be? Will these tiny emotional moments matter then? Do they really matter now? Like meditation, gathas are a tool, and we can adapt them to our individual situations. We can also change some words, add our own lines, and yes, we can even write our own gathas. In fact, you should encourage your children to write their own gathas. The bits and pieces of our lives may seem routine and mundane. Getting up, bathing, going to the bathroom, cooking, eating, washing dishes, cleaning, taking care of others, being with friends, gardening, working, driving, and more. The joy of the practice is doing everything in mindfulness, no matter how routine, because all of these little things, when put together, equal our lives. This is what we do. This is how we live. The practice is now or never. With what we do and where we are, we have to be attentive. We can experience the joy of moving through our days in freedom and with equanimity, walking with peaceful steps and looking at all beings with our eyes of compassion. The day is ending and our life is one day shorter. Let us look carefully at what we have done. Let us practice diligently, putting our whole heart into the path of awareness. Let us live deeply each moment and in freedom, so the time doesn't slip away without meaning. Practicing simple gathas yourself is a light-hearted, accessible way to meditate while engaged in any activity of your daily life. When we take time to unite the breath, the mind, and the body with such activities, we guide ourselves into a deeper, more direct experience of our surroundings and of ourselves. Are you ready to try it yourself? Step 1. Recite the gatha. Simply pause what you are doing and notice what's around you. Then create a mental pause by reciting silently or out loud the entire gatha. Step 2. Synchronize it with the breath. A gatha is intended to be practiced in alignment with the breath. Once we have a feel for the gatha, we can correlate each line with an in-breath or an out-breath. Step 3. Shorten the gatha when you're ready. Once we've practiced with the gatha for a good while and have truly internalized it, we can shorten it or rewrite it to be more relevant to us. When we have sincerely internalized the gatha, just a few words will be enough to generate awareness of the whole gatha. Think of gathas as meditation in motion. They loosen the tangled web of our thoughts, opening us up to the experience and to understand the magnificent present moment. They help us remember our connections with all of life as we mindfully engage in the activity before us. When the mind drops into the heart, joining in communion with the breath and our physical actions, we see life as it is, and ourselves as an integral part of it all. As always, peace and love, Jim.